सागर क्या पद छाया शोध हे आमाय तुम्हार चरण धरी। क्षय वेगदमी क्षय दोष शोधी क्षय गुण देहो दासे। क्षय सतसंग देह हे आमारे बोसे की संगेर आशे। किया मार नाही पाय बल हरिनाम संकीर्तने। क्षता बिंदु दीना देह कृष्ण नाम धरे। कृष्ण से तोमार कृष्ण जी ते पार तोमार शकति आछे। आमी तो कांगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली हरि तव पाछे पाछे। ठाकुर दयार सागर वेदा से करुणा सोई। ध्यानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीराधाकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So very happy to be with all of you. So I have been told to speak on this topic of Tukaram Maharaj's pastimes. I don't know why I am being told because I am not very expert in this topic. But somehow Rajashampuru, in during our Spurti camps, in Pandharpur, I used to speak something on this Vitthal Rakumaai and Tukaram Maharaj, a little bit. So Prabhuji remembered that only and given these topics to me. Although I am not conversant with this topic. Grace Vrindavan Prabhu or somebody can speak much better. Neither I am speaking this topic anywhere else. This is the only place I have been told to speak these topics. But somehow Prabhuji remembers that only. It's all right. So anyway, so I was thinking also because whether to speak or not, because there is much to speak, and again some better devotees could have spoken, but at the same time that's the eve of Dindi. Hmm. So Dindi is starting now, so it will be very auspicious and very uh, blessings invoking if we can discuss about such great devotees as Tukaram Maharaj. Uh, So some things we'll speak from an article by His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj. The Prabhupada is to call His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj as Tukaram. He's our Tukaram. He's Tukaram of ISKCON. Like that. So uh, Srila Prabhupada, in one of the letters, he writes this. In Maharashtra, a saint of the name Saint Tukaram was also follower of Lord Chaitanya, and he has overflooded the whole Western India with Sankirtan movement. This is Western India, this part of India, and he overflooded the whole Western India with Sankirtan movement. Also, Prabhupada notes about Tukaram Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam introduction itself. If you read introduction, Prabhupada mentions Tukaram Maharaj. The Lord means Lord Chaitanya, extensively traveled all over the southern part of India. The great saint of Maharashtra, known as Saint Tukaram, was also initiated by the Lord. Saint Tukaram, after initiation from the Lord, overflooded the whole of Maharashtra province with Sankirtan movement, and the transcendental flow is still rolling on in the southern part of the great Indian peninsula. Like that. Also, there is some kind of reference of Tukaram Maharaj in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we'll read also eventually. Hmm. So, Tukaram Maharaj appeared in 1609 in Dehu. So, how many of you have gone to Dehu? All of you have gone. Wonderful. Okay. Hmm. So, and we see that there is so much of influence of Tukaram Maharaj now also. Maharashtra is filled with Tukaram Maharaj's name and Tukaram Maharaj. Everybody practically in Maharashtra knows about Tukaram Maharaj. There have been many saints. Maharashtra is considered to be the land of saints. So many saints, and especially among them, but noteworthy was, especially amongst all the noteworthy was Tukaram Maharaj, who spread this Sankirtan movement in Marathi language, and he gave great culture. He gave literatures, and he is highly spiritually celebrated in the entire province. So, uh, so his followers, they say that his devotional accomplishments are so colossal that to describe them, many future generations of translators and commentators will have their pens occupied for centuries to come. Like, he has done such a great work. So one thing we can note about Tukaram Maharaj also, how one person who is imbued with devotion for Krishna, he can do so much great for the world, isn't it? Means Tukaram Maharaj was not much educated or some kind of great scholar from material point of view, or from a very opulent or some kind of a very powerful personality from a material point of view. So Tukaram Maharaj was not in that way. Hmm. But despite not having that type of attributes, but because he was a very simple man, kind of a businessman, by occupation, a very simple person. But despite that, because of his pure devotion unto the Lord, he could make such revolution, could make such a difference in the world. Hmm. So, as Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartan. So, how we understand that somebody is, being empowered by Krishna? The symptom of somebody being empowered by Krishna means he is able to make others into devotees of Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also mentions this, that the greatness of a devotee is understood by how many devotees he makes in the moment of Krishna consciousness. How much he influences, and in that way we can understand the glory of Tukaram Maharaj, that how many thousands of devotees he made, and now also still he is making, even after his departure. He departed almost 300-400 years ago, but still his influence is so much. Still generations after generations, people are accepting his teachings, people are accepting his you know shlokas, abhangas. They are called as abhangas, and so many people are still becoming devotees, just by hearing his teachings, just by knowing his teachings, isn't it? Who have never seen Tukaram Maharaj in their life, still he is able to teach them and bring them into devotees. So we can understand the great degree Tukaram Maharaj has preached. Mm. It's simply very amazing, like that. And another, the apart from his great pure devotion of to the Lord, one of the another aspect of his preaching, which we should understand also, which every great preacher he always inculcates, is that the person has to be able to speak or translate the lofty messages of Shastras in such a way that the audience he can understand, and he can digest it, he can accept it, he can understand it, and he can be influenced by it. Hmm. One thing that some people will like it, right? Sometimes we say, मजा आ गया प्रभु जी, बहुत अच्छा क्लास था, मजा आ गया. So one of our voice devotee, he when his day Samarendra Prabhu had come, so he called some of his friends also came, who are not devotees at all. So he asked them after the class, so what did you learn in the class? ऐसे नहीं, बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के, लेकिन क्या समझा? कुछ नहीं समझा, you know but बहुत अच्छा लगा, like that. So this is one thing, that one may like the class, or one may like something. Sometimes the kirtans, these warkaris and all, so many people like it. This is one level of preaching, that people will appreciate, hmm, that what you are speaking, okay, you are speaking something wonderful, like that. Sometimes we ask people also, what did you like in the class? Sab kuch acha tha Prabhu. Everything was good. One point they are not able to recollect. One point they are not able to understand. इसका मतलब क्या है? कुछ नहीं समझा basically. केवल वो सुनने के लिए एक it was okay. So that is one level that people develop appreciation. But another, further deeper level is that person not only just appreciates that this is something good going on, but he also can absorb those teachings or the message which is spoken in the teachings, and can ponder over it, and can make a solid transformation in his heart through that. That is something very deeper, like that. So we see that Tukaram Maharaj could make it happen. He was, and for that the preacher has to understand to give the message as per time, place, and circumstances. He has to be expert in that. Hmm. So, what was there during those circumstances of Tukaram Maharaj was that most of the time, most of the messages were in Sanskrit language of Vedas. We know that Vedas are all in Sanskrit. And what happens that Sanskrit has been a folklore, you can say, or the common language during many, many years ago. Hmm. Okay. So, probably during Dwapar Yuga and all that, Sanskrit was the common language which everybody understood. And that's why all the Vedic scriptures are also in Sanskrit language. Even in the beginning of Kali Yuga, everything is written in Sanskrit. It's a Deva Bhasha. But as Kali Yuga progressed, what happened that Sanskrit has become almost outdated. Nobody understands Sanskrit. Only few percent of people can understand Sanskrit. So the saintly personalities all over India, they have understood that this Sanskrit is not understandable for the common person. So they translated the messages of scriptures into the local languages in which people can understand, in such a way that people can understand. So that not only some top class people should be able to understand, but every common person also should be able to understand. Otherwise, what will happen? Only top class people will be delivered. Only few people who are great scholarly, and then whole world remains in the ignorance. So, in order to penetrate the majority of the world, one has to first of all speak in the language of a person, and also not only the Vedic language is Sanskrit, it is especially Vedas. Maybe Puranas are little simpler language of Sanskrit. It is very complicated to understand, and there are many many concepts, and also it requires a very high intellectual to really absorb and grasp the essence of Vedas. But common person doesn't have so much intelligence, isn't it? So he needs the message of Vedas to be spoken in a simpler way, so that don't tell so many contradictory arguments and this and that. If it is like this, then it is like that, and this that. Like Vedanta Sutra, how many can understand? No, hardly anybody can understand. In fact, people that so misinterpret also. So the message has to be given in a simple manner also. So again, Tukaram Maharaj did so. Not only he spoke from local language, also, of course, he has written in Hindi also. So, and I think one two more languages he has written. He's among us, but Marathi was most, some Hindi also. But he was able to also make it very simple for a general person to understand, and that's why it created such a impact, because the message is very potent. But if the preacher is expert, is pure and is expert also in translating in such a way that a person can take, common man can take, it can create a very powerful impact. And we see Srila Prabhupada also did the same thing. He understood even local languages nowadays are, you know, okay, you may translate it in the Indian language, but people all over the world cannot take it up. If you write the things in Indian languages, can the world people in the world understand? In fact, people of India are not able to understand Indian language things nowadays because they are all also after English, isn't it? Many students are learning in convent schools, wherein the local language is only one of the subject, which they somehow pass it by cracking, mucking up. They don't understand even the local language. So Prabhupada understood that the need of the society of current times is English. Because English, many people can understand. All over the world, English is understood. Good way. We first of all spoke in English, translated. One of the first one Acharya to translate things into English language was Srila Bhaktivinoda. It was a great revolution because scripture were never translated into national language, foreign language. But Srila Thakur understood, no, it's the time, need of the hour. The Bhakti Saran Thakur. And eventually Srila Prabhupada made the English language as his prominent language of writing. 99% Prabhupada wrote in English language, 1% in Bengali. And then he got all these literatures translated into various local languages of different countries. This way now it has made such a solid. Another thing also Prabhupada gave very straightforward conclusions of Shastra. You don't have to keep on thinking in Mimamsa and that. who has time to study or straightforward, simple truth he gives. That's how people could take it very easily. Even a neophyte devotee in Krishna consciousness knows so much philosophy that so many advanced so-called others of other places they may not know. So this is the credit of a great acharya. So that's how Karan Maharaj was very expert in this field. He was a great distinguished devotee of Lord Vitthal. That was his festival date. And we know Vitthal Rakumaai Krishna, first wife. So he was a prominent worshipper of that and those deities. So and he was born in Dehu. So we know there is the Indrayani river. It's considered a very holy river. He was born over there. So actually, Tukaram Maharaj also came from a very glorious lineage. From 8 generations before, there was a one great personality called Amshu Pr was the ancestor of Tukaram Maharaj. So he was a very, very great devotee of Lord. And every 15 days he would do one, or every month. So, some say he would do probably every month for 50 days he would walk from Dehu to Pandharpur. So we have once in a year. Devotees go. He will go every month. Very, very devoted. His wife also, Amai, both were devoted. But when he became old, eventually, it became difficult for him to do so. Uh, and then once he went finally to Pandharpur with great difficulty, who this Vishwambar Goa. He went with great difficulty. Somehow he reached. Of course, those days, so they would do walking only. There was no train or anything. So no train, no bus. They would walk. So he went and he reached and he told Lord Vitthal that actually he could have some personal reciprocation. So he requested Lord Vitthal that henceforth I won't be able to come. In the dream, Lord Vitthal came to him. He said, I cannot be separated from you. I love you so much. You are my such a dear devotee. How can you not come? He said, I am so old. How can I come? It's impossible now. He said, if you can't come, I will come. Don't worry. You go back to your place, Devu, and I will manifest myself over there. I'll come. In this way, he came back. Then, as per the plagues, was also told by Lord. There was some kind of forest which Lord told that you will find my deities. They started digging over there. They found a lot of tulsis coming from there. A lot of auspicious articles came there. Then finally, were installed by God's word, the same deities we find in Devu. So these deities in Devu also, these are also very old deities. Tukaram Maharaj only was 400 years, 8 generations, at least another 50 years. These deities are also 600 years. At least they are installed. They were underground also. Like that. In this way, he was a very great person. In the dream only, Lord had told him that in your future generation, your predecessors, one of my very great devotee will appear. He will deliver the whole world. It was told. In this way, so Tukaram Maharaj was born. So his parents were also great devotees. He was born in 1608. His parents were also great devotees, named Poloba. His mother's name was Kanakai. Like that. And this place called Dehu is also referred to as Jagrut Sthan, the abode of living divinity. Or the abode of living divinity. So, and actually, these are the very important places for all the devotees in Maharashtra, Pandharpur as well as Dehu, because the Supreme Lord Vitthal personally stays over there. So, we have discussed the pastimes of uh, Vitthal Rakumaai. So that period, if we see historically, the Muslims attacked India. So those days, India means it included Afghanistan, and Afghanistan up to Myanmar, of course, Pakistan, Bangladesh. So this was a bigger India. During 700, this Islamic people they attacked India. At least immediately after establishment, Islam was started only at 680. Just within 100, they started attacking. Is their majority their religion consists of this. And also they are and India was so prosperous. That was their first priority. They wanted to gain control over India. It was the most prosperous. But by the time they reached, because Indian kings also were very powerful, they could not so easily enter. They were defeated multiple times. They were thrown out. By the time, but somehow they could take the advantage of the rivalry between the kings. That's how they came up to Maharashtra by 1200. So there is this 11th century, 1200, 12th century, 11th century, there were great personalities who were there present. There have been Shankaracharya, then after that Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they were also by there by 12th century. Ramdev Maharaj and Naneshwar. In this way, the whole India was being solidly getting rejuvenated in its devotional acumen because Shankaracharya, because there was big backlash due to Buddhism. Then there was a Mayavad spread by Shankaracharya. So the devotional movement was just bringing up to these great personalities. Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, here also Ramdev Maharaj, Naneshwar Maharaj. This way, the devotional service to the Lord was just bringing up, but then there was an attack by Muslims. And it was a very, very dark period in the history, wherein so many Muslims attacked and so brutally they killed. They used to, anybody who would participate in Kirtan or in devotional service, they would practically put hot boiling oil on their mouths, in their mouths. They would, pierce their ears. They would pluck out their eyes. In this way, very cruel treatment. They would thousands and thousands of devotees and the Vedic followers were killed. Thousands of temples were destroyed. And the period was very, very dark. So during the Tukaram Maharaj time also, it was certainly the fact that the Muslims were ruling, the Mughals were ruling, and they are constantly having lot of wars. So now our situation is very peaceful. Although in the world there are some wars going on, for us there is nothing. We are quite peacefully situated. So you can imagine, but that time there were constant wars between various Mughal, various Muslim rulers also, and between these Hindu rulers, Muslim rulers also. But despite such a very terrible situation, wherein they used to plunder the villages, they used to kill so many people. But Tukaram Maharaj's childhood went in a very comfortable and opulent way. He was very comfortable and opulent, and his parents were quite opulent, and he was very, raised in a very, very nice family. His parents were farmers and also kind of business people also. But eventually, what happened that there was a great drought which struck Maharashtra in that time, and in which his parents died. His first wife died also. So, and eventually then he suddenly faced so many reversals in his life, like that. And eventually, so his parents got him married to second wife called Chizabai. So she is also named, was known as Audi. So she was married also. But, so first wife died eventually, and then his first son also died, which he got from the first wife. So in this way, there was a terrible consequences. So terrible famine was there, drought was there, that so many people, so many animals were dying around. And in this way, Tukaram Maharaja's entire business and everything, ancestral business which he had, and the property which he had, and everything, it collapsed. And from great riches to extreme poverty he went into. And when the drought was there, so his brother was named Sauji. So his wife also died in this whole drought. So many people in the family are dying like that. So, and that's how the brother was already not so interested in family life, and he saw that his wife died. Immediately he also took sannyas. He went away and he took sannyas. He completely dedicated for devotional life only. But then what happened, that the whole responsibility of whatever family was remaining, that came up to Tukaram Maharaj. And it was very difficult for him. It was very, very difficult period for him to, manage whole thing. But generally what happens, the person who is materialistic in his life, when there is gum, he takes shelter of rum. He wants to drink and juice, and he simply duk kare geet, gaate rehte. Tukaram Maharaj, he understood that this is the nature of material world. It is dukkhalayam shashvatam. The prosperity, the happiness in material world is always transient. Just because now we are very comfortable and happy and this thing, one should not imagine that this kind of situation will go on for the rest of the eternity. Any time, this material opulences, any time this material prosperity can be taken away. Like that. We can never guarantee that it will remain. So this is the plain truth, the naked truth of this world was presented in front of Tukaram Maharaj. How it is so dangerous place. This material world is such a dangerous place. Where there is a danger at every step, there are so many miseries over there. So in this way, Tukaram Maharaj, he sometimes this kind of miseries, they help a person to become more realized, like that. So Srimad Bhagavatam, this particular analogy Prabhupada says that just like the child, he goes with father to sea beach and he makes a castle out of sand. He'll make various things, he'll make walls, he'll make various balconies and gates and this and that out of sand, and the father is watching. But after some time, father tells, finish, chalo, let's go home. And your whole, now no more this sand business, come out. And the child has to just leave behind everything, and all his castle and his buildings and everything is destroyed. Same way Prabhupada says that when the Lord specially favors somebody, sometimes to a person he Lord favors and brings him to spiritual life, makes him serious in spiritual life by destroying all his material opulences. And that's what happened with Tukaram Maharaj. That's what happened with Srila Prabhupada also. Of course, they are already serious in spiritual life, but it's just to show the example for others that so they had no recourse. So Tukaram Maharaj took to the life of self-introspection. And so there is one place called as Bhamchandragarh. Have you gone Bhamchandragarh Parvat? So I recently visited first time. Very beautiful place. Well, you can go sometimes. One of your outing we can take it. Very nice place. So in that you have to just walk a little bit on the top of a mountain, climb. In this place there is one cave in which Tukaram Maharaj meditated for almost 15 days. He was bitten by scorpions, he was hit by a snake, and he was attacked by tiger, but he did not give up his meditation. And at the end of meditation, Lord Vitthal, he came in front of him, he got darshan of Lord Vitthal. And in this way, there was
Uh, he was pleased by the Tukaram Maharaj Bhakti, and he bestowed the knowledge of eternal truth and love of Godhead on Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Maharaj has written in this one of the poems, I lived in Bhagiri mountain and concentrated all my faculties on him. Snakes, scorpions, tigers attacked me. There was trouble everywhere. It was on the 15th day that revelation came. I met Vithoba. I was then inspired to versify, and in my mind, I put my hands around Lord Vithoba's feet. So in this way, Lord was revealed. So these Jews, they also say that, they are Christians or even Muslims. So God revealed to them something, right? Some commandments in the Mount of what? Sinai. Mount Sinai, isn't it? So it seems that similar trend is there everywhere. They go to some mountain, then they meditate on the Lord, and Lord gives them some instructions. So here also similar thing is there. So then also Tukaram Maharaj, but although he was revealed, but he was desperately looking for Guru, because he understood that Divya Gyan, Hriday Prakash, Tukaram Maharaj was revealed the transcendental knowledge within by Lord Vitthal himself, but also he understood that without spiritual master, one cannot make progress. Although Lord may be there, but Lord will not completely accept us. Lord will not shower his ultimate mercy upon us in terms of love for him, unless until we accept spiritual master. So it is said that Tukaram Maharaj got initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his dream. He got this mantra, Ram Krishna Hari. That he was initiated. Tukaram Maharaj mentions him as Raghav Chaitanya and Keshav Chaitanya, like that. So this is the one verse is there in which he mentions like that. So at least we believe like that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu believe, and our Acharya says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in dream, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 14th century, Tukaram Maharaj in 16th century. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not present on the planet when he initiated Tukaram Maharaj. But how he initiated then? Through dream. Through dream he gave, and he gave this particular mantra, Ram Krishna Hari. Tukaram Maharaj then, after being initiated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he spread this mantra, this kirtan, everywhere, all over the world, all over Maharashtra at that time, and even some parts of South India, Gujarat, these places, provinces. So Tukaram Maharaj's meditation on Lord Vitthal became intensely more profound. And he started composing various verses which were inspired by Lord himself. They are called as Abhanga. Abhanga means which cannot be broken. What cannot be broken? What is eternal cannot be broken, cannot be destroyed. Right? So that's what is called as Abhanga. Something which is material is broken, right? Smoke can be broken. But Abhanga, the verses of Tukaram Maharaj, they are Abhanga because they cannot be broken. They are completely transcendental, and they are revelations from the Lord himself. Like that. So these Abhangas were coming out of the heart of Tukaram Maharaj, out of his great compassion on suffering humanity. He understood that the humanity is suffering. The main problem is because they have forgotten Krishna, they have forgotten Supreme Lord, and they are trying to enjoy this material world. This is the main problem. And that's why through these Abhangas, he wanted to enlighten people and bring them at the lotus feet of Krishna again. So in this way, continuously, practically, Tukaram Maharaj used to sing Lord's glories. Sapatam Kirtayanto. Tukaram Maharaj was the embodiment of that. Always singing, always chanting. And he composed many songs. There are 4,500 Abhangas. So these are like shlokas. And these are all reflections of events in his life. And as Srila Prabhupada says also that these type of shlokas or abhangas or songs which are written in the local language by great acharyas, they are not different than Vedas, because the Vedic truth is revealed and made in simple language for the common people to understand. So that's how our Vaishnava songs in our acharyas, they are also not different than Vedas. The same conclusion of the scriptures is presented in a simple language and simple manner. So that's how Tukaram Maharaj also like that he wrote. So he used to go very regularly for Dindi, practically every year along with his followers. So this Dindi was started by Jnaneshwar Maharaj in 12th century that time. But in between it was broken also because of its Muslims attack and all that. Even the deity of Lord Vitthal was transferred to Hampi. Now also if you go to Hampi, the Vijay Vitthal temple is there. So deity of Vitthal was transferred from Pandharpur to Hampi because Krishna Dev Rai was ruling there and he was very powerful king. So he was not attacked by Muslims. In this way, Lord Vitthal remained protected. And after some years, then again the deity was brought back, Pandharpur. So then again the Dindi started. So it was Tukaram Maharaj who again revived that Dindi, that Wari, going to Pandharpur. And now also we see so many people are going. In Tukaram Maharaj Dindi, there are almost 2-3 lakh people who walk. And Ishwar Maharaj almost 10 lakh people who walk. So overall, lakhs of people are going. This is a very amazing phenomenon which is never nowhere there in the world. You will find anywhere. Muslims they go for Hajj, but they go by flight. They go and they don't walk anything. They just go and visit, do some ulta parikrama, come back. Or Christians they will go to Jerusalem also, visit. Even many people visit holy places in India, like Varanasi or whatever, Mathura. Kanchi, Dwarka, but this type of thing wherein lakhs of people, almost 15 lakh people are total all over Maharashtra. There are some deities come from Karnataka also, Andhra also, and different parts of Maharashtra. So from our Vidarbha, the deity starts 1 month before. It has already started a month before because the distance is much longer. So that's how from all over Maharashtra the deities come. So almost lakhs of people are there. And they are walking for days together. And when they reach to the temple there, Pandharpur, how much darshan they get? 1 second. Kitna darshan? 1 second. Kabhi, no, they get darshan that much only. But for that, every year after year they are ready to do. Now also you find in Maharashtra, there are people who are going to Delhi for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. Recently that Bhamchandra we went, there was one devotee who did Delhi for 100 years. He is 120 years old now. Very great personality he must be. 100 years and he was so had so much love for the Lord. They are walking this. So it's a very special festival actually, very unprecedented festival. Nobody can match it. There is no other festival which matches like this. Very unprecedented. And so Tukaram Maharaj took the opportunity of preaching through this Dindi. It was not that they are just going. It was to go and sing various songs, to sing the holy names of the Lord. And on the way, because they used to pass through various villages, thousands and thousands of people would come and would enlighten them in Krishna consciousness. In this way, he preached very, very rigorously. So our Padayatra started by Sloknath Maharaj is after this concept, which Prabhupada also started. That go village to village walking, because when we go by train, what happens? Whom we can reach? We cannot reach almost anyone. Maybe some people in the train. That's it. But when we go walking, we can meet so many people and we can give them the message of Krishna consciousness. So that's also the concept of Padayatra. And in this way, because of Tukaram Maharaj, because of this Dindi, through this way, I used to constantly travel also. Through that, he made thousands of people into devotees. So, his public discourses, wherever he would stay, he would give public discourses, and they focused on offering one's daily life as a service to the Lord. He used to tell that, offer your daily life, day-to-day life as a service to the Lord. He worked for the enlightenment of society and emphasized Sankirtan, chanting of the holy names. So he was very much fond of kirtans and chanting. And he said that rather than performing a lot of ritualistic processes, which are very difficult to perform, and there are mechanical study of Vedic scriptures, just engage into Sankirtan, chanting, dancing, and playing various instruments. So there is to be Mridanga and Kartal also those days. Mridanga is called as in Marathi Pakwas. It's a different type of Mridanga. Have you heard Pakwas? Pakwas. Yeah, Pakwas. And then there is Kartal also is there in there also. Like that. And thousands of people, they would happily participate into this. Like that. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita also Prabhupada mentions about Tukaram Maharaj. Tukaram Acharya, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 9.282 purport. Tukaram Acharya became very famous in the Maharashtra province, and he spread the Sankirtan movement all over the province. Sankirtan party belonging to Tukaram is still very popular in Bombay and throughout the province of Maharashtra, resembling the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sankirtan parties in the chanting of holy names of the Lord, accompanied by mridangas and kartals. So it is exactly the same, similar lines, everything is there. And we see teachings also of Tukaram Maharaj, because he was disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The teachings of our Gaudiya Sampradaya and what Tukaram Maharaj gave, they are very, very similar. Like that. So that's how Prabhupada also wanted that there should be Sankirtan parties like that in Maharashtra and all over India, like that. So, of course, that doesn't mean that Tukaram Maharaj's life was very simple. His life also he underwent many events, like that. One of the biggest upheaval was that there were caste brahmanas who were opposing him. So Tukaram Maharaj would be always chanting the holy names of the Lord, and he would be composing these abhangas and all. They became more popular than the scriptures, and these caste brahmanas, they started feeling a lot of insecurity. There was one Salomalu. You all have seen the movie Tukaram Maharaj? Yes. Samut Salomalu was there. He was particularly very against, because Brahmanas thought that all the name, fame, respect should come to us only. And then where it was going more to Tukaram Maharaj, so he became very against. So he tried various tricks. Sometimes he paid Tukaram Maharaj with stick. Sometimes he defamed Tukaram Maharaj. He stole his abhangas and put his own name into that. So he was, Brahmana in the name only, but very cunning person. So one day he called Rameshwar Shastri from Kashi, and he told him that he is doing like this. And Rameshwar Shastri, when he came there in Devu, he saw so many people are always chanting the holy names of the Lord. They are singing various abhangas. And he also became very envious. So how can this happen? The spiritual enlightenment is the birthright of only Brahmanas, he said, and nobody else should be doing it. In this way, he called Tukaram Maharaj, and Tukaram Maharaj presented, and he started, there are nice arguments, and Tukaram Maharaj presented his arguments also very humbly. He said that I am not, disregarding Vedic religion. In fact, what Bhakti or Bhagavad Dharma I am spreading is only the simpler version and very sweet version of, it's the essence of Vedic religion in itself, he said. And in this way they argued, but finally, although Tukaram Maharaj proved that he is not a deviant or a kind of person who is doing something wrong, but he is actually spreading the message of the Lord only, the message of Vedas only. But still Rameshwar Shastri there, he was not at all pacified. And he ordered that this Tukaram Maharaj's abhanga should be drowned into the river, considering them to be heretic. So, and the most painful thing is that he told Tukaram Maharaj himself that you only go and drown your own abhangas. So Tukaram Maharaj tied a big stone to these abhangas. So those days that order was considered to be very important. Nowadays the court order is more important. No Dharma Guru can give any such order. But those days that Dharma Guru's order was very important. So he tied a big rock on these abhangas and he drowned them in Indrayani river. But because he had written these abhangas, they were the expressions of his love for the Lord, and so he was extremely pained. He was not able to tolerate that pain, and that's how he sat on the bank of Indrayani river along with his wife and children. And he just fasted. He did not drink a single drop of water. He did not eat anything. But then on the 13th day, Lord came in the dream of Tukaram Maharaj. Actually, on the 12th day, Lord came in the dream of Tukaram Maharaj. And he said, actually, these abhangas, I am holding this stone under the water. And I am not allowing these abhangas to be drowned. They are just there under water. And I am making them saved from water also. So don't worry, tomorrow morning, these abhangas will again reappear on the river, so you will be able to get like these abhangas. Tukaram Maharaj, he thought, is it a dream or it is reality? What is going to happen? Is it that because of fasting I have got deranged and because of that I am imagining something which may not happen at all? How is it possible? Now they are gone forever. So he wanted to fast till death almost. He said, I have no interest in living now. What is the use? Because I have worked so hard to write this. My love for the Lord, that's gone. So, but then similar dream came to many people in the village also. Many leaders in the village, they also got that tomorrow morning again Tukaram Maharaj's Gatha will come back. This way everybody gathered next day morning on the 13th day on the bank of the river. Then to everybody's great astonishment, the Gatha, all those abandons, they again reappeared. The in the form of, and they saw that they were completely dry, not a single drop of water. Lord had kept them waterproof also. They were dry, there was no water, and they were as they were. No damage had happened to it. In this way, then Tukaram Maharaj fame spread everywhere. Even this Rameshwar Shastri, he was amazed by this miracle, and he also surrendered to Tukaram Maharaj also. So in this way, the Tukaram Maharaj's glory spread everywhere after these incidents a lot. But Tukaram Maharaj said to the Lord, Lord, you are so hard-hearted. In 13 days, you are like a stone only. 13 days, I did not eat any drop of water. I did not drink any drop of water. I did not eat the grain. And you, how you could tolerate this? Lord said that as you fasted, I also fasted for 30 days. I did not eat anything else. I did not drink also. So because of my love for you, I did not also eat anything. Then Tukaram Maharaj said, oh, God also fasted along with me like that. In this way, this was a very critical moment in Tukaram Maharaj's life. But by Krishna's mercy, so whatever, these are the divine messages, and that's how they will never be destroyed. They will always remain like that. So one person is going through meeting in Argentina. So this person, he told him that actually, he said, going through said, what language you speak? He said, we speak Spanish. He said, this is your original language? He said, no. Original language was something else. But he said, because of this foreign invasion, our whole language is changed, culture is changed, everything is changed. Nothing of our original has remained now. Everything is destroyed. So Amshu said that same thing happened with India. In fact, India is the most invaded country among the whole world. सबसे ज़्यादा invasions तो India में हुए. All different countries they are invaded India. So why is India is there? This person says, as long as there is Tukaram Gatha, as long as there is Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavatam, nothing can happen to India. Even though temporarily, the Vedic civilization may face some setback, but Vedic civilization can never be destroyed. Because such eternal divine messages of the Lord are presented. So that nothing will be destroyed, it will remain. So in this way, that's the glory of this Gatha of Tukaram Maharaj. Also, he was great renunciate. Tukaram Maharaj, although he was a householder, he had a wife and 6 children. But he was greatly renunciate. Because of this, his wife was sometimes very upset with him. She would not do any job. Can you imagine maintaining a family of 6 children, having no job like that? And he was very transcendental also. So in his beginning days, sometimes it so happened that somehow he had some land of cultivation from his parents, so he would try to cultivate it sometimes. So in the movie, you'll get to see many pastimes also. But 1-2 pastimes which are not there in the movie, I will tell. So once upon a time, what happened was that when he had got some grains, and then he was carrying those grains. But some people were also there, so he was carrying those grains on his back to his home. But suddenly, so much of thunderstorm came, and the people went ahead. Those who were there, they did not care for him, and they went ahead. He was somehow or other carrying. It was completely dark, dusty, and there were torrents of rains, going on. And that he completely lost his way. But suddenly one person came to him, and he said, you must be very tired, so I will carry your this thing. I will carry your bag of grains. And this Tukaram Maharaj thought, okay, this person wants to help me. Then this person carried and he guided Tukaram Maharaj. Now let us go this way. Finally, they reached on the bank of Indrayani, and then he said, see, your village has come. Like that. Tukaram Maharaj was so grateful to him, because he would have totally lost him. And then he was about to thank him. He realized that that person immediately disappeared. He realized that it was not none other than Lord Vitthal himself. Lord Vitthal had guided him all through from his farmland to his home. So he was so much touched that how much Lord Vitthal is helping him. Then another time, Tukaram Maharaj, he was selling chilies, red chilies. So he went into the village, one of the village to sell, and he declared everyone that whatever price you want, you can give, pay as you like. What do you think people in Maharashtra do? People say pay as you like. Nobody knew anything. And they just took chilies as much as they want. Nobody get a single price. And Tukaram Maharaj was also unconcerned. He was simply absorbed in chanting and dancing and singing the glories of the Lord. He was fully transcendental. And some people, Gundas and all, they came and they stole the entire bags of the chilies and they took it away. Tukaram Maharaj thought, okay, all right, what can be done? You can't imagine any household of these days, right, like this. He wasn't house like this. But he was like that only. He was completely detached from any material possessions, any material desires, no desires. He was simply happy chanting and serving the Lord. After some time, one person came to that village. Tukaram Maharaj was sitting outside village and he was absorbed in his kirtans and all that. So one person came and he told that I am the servant of this Tukaram who sold you. Pay the price you have taken, you have to pay the price. If you don't pay the price, I'll beat you down like that. You must pay the price, whatever you have. He was really strong. People got afraid. Then they gave the price also. And this way he went door to door and collected all from whoever took. Exactly he told that you had taken this much mirchi, this much price you have to pay. Exact. And he kept calculations also. This fellow, this much. This fellow, this fellow, this much. And those gundas also he went and he gave a nice beating to them. And he said, give money for this. And from them also he got vasuli for all that mirchi. And then finally, he kept it within himself with this all this money, and he came to the outskirts when Tukaram Maharaj was sitting to his bhajan. And he came as if he was looking as if he was a watchman of the village, like that. And Tukaram Maharaj, he said, I am very hungry. Tukaram said, yeah, I got some tiffin from my home, so let us take prasadam together now. So he and they both sat, and Tukaram Maharaj thought that is just one of the watchmen in the village. He said both conversed for a long time. They had nice eating together, nice prasadam together. They were talking. This way, Tukaram Maharaj was feeling great bliss in his heart. He's thinking, why I'm feeling so happy by meeting this person. I didn't get any money here. But then that person said, actually I went everywhere and I got this money for you. So take it. And he gave full accounts. कि किसने कितना मिर्ची लिया, किससे कितना पैसा है. Whole account he gave, and he gave the money also to him, Tukaram Maharaj. And Tukaram Maharaj said, it's very amazing. And then he was shocked. Who is this person? He was thinking, and this person disappeared. And then Tukaram Maharaj, I don't realize it was Vitthal himself who came. And for Tukaram Maharaj, he did vasuli also. All people like that. So Lord Vitthal was personally, getting involved, in his life. You see how. So somebody, who gets involved in the Lord service, Lord also gets involved personally in his life. If somebody becomes detached from the Lord is also detached from. But somebody is with the Lord, who always thinks of the Lord, who always is engaged in the service of the Lord also is always thinking about him, like that. So one final pastime I will tell you, that Tukaram Maharaj was once very sick and he could not go for the tea. So he sent one letter. He was feeling great pain that I am not able to go to meet Lord Vitthal. Tukaram Maharaj, when you go to Pandharpur, he will feel as if he has gone to his Maita. like a woman, she goes, the married girl, she goes to her father's place, like that. So when you come back from Pandharpur, you would feel as if he has a girl coming from her Maika to Sasural, like that you would be. There is a Abhanda also, right? Kanya Satura Tijaye, Mage Parutanapaye, when the girl is going to her in-laws home from her Maika, how again and again she looks at the parents, and again she goes, again she looks like that. Same way my situation is there. So he had great attachment to Parvat, and that particular he could not go, he became sick. So he wrote a letter and sent with some devotees the letter to Lord Vitthal that, oh Lord, please forgive me, but I won't be able to come. So personal, no? Do we deal with the deities like this so personally? Sometimes devotees say that we come to temple and we don't take darshan also of the Lord. Sometimes we may come from outside and we don't take even darshan of the Lord. As if it is something extra thing to be done. Not understanding that he is the main person in the temple, Radha Vrindavan Chandra. We should go and meet him first. How is it that he is our main boss and we don't go and meet him at also? We don't take his darshan. But Tukaram Maharaj was not like that. He was so personal and he reported to Lord Vitthal that I will not be able to come this time because I am very sick. So please do not forget me. Keep me in your remembrance. Like that he wrote a letter. And there Lord Vitthal, he read that letter actually. And he told Rukmini, hey, without Tukaram, how can we celebrate this Ashadhi Ekadashi, which is coming now? Ashadhi Ekadashi will come, one of the biggest festival. How can we celebrate it? It's impossible. We both have to go to Devi. Let us both go. He said, oh, so many thousands and lakhs of devotees have come. How can we disappoint them either? Okay, we may have to go to visit Tukaram. But what about others? How can we be disappointed? If we go, all this will be disappointed. The Lord said, okay, what can be done? And then the Lord, gave his darshan to all those Varkaris who had come. Lakhs of them had come. Lord gave his darshan. But he was not, his heart was with Tukaram Maharaj. So as soon as that Dwadashi and all got over, Ekadashi, Dwadashi got over, immediately Lord said, actually that time what happens? One thing I forgot, very important thing, that Lord says, oh, Tukaram cannot come by walking now, so we can send him. I will send a Garuda. And then Tukaram, this Lord sent Garuda to get Tukaram Maharaj, that you get him. He cannot walk, he's sick, but he can sit on Garuda and come. And I cannot be separated from Tukaram Maharaj. So then Garuda came there. So Tukaram Maharaj said, hey, on you Lord is sitting. You are the carrier of Lord. How can I sit there? I am servant of the Lord. You are the seat of the Lord. Can I sit in the seat of the master? He said, impossible, go back and tell Lord, if he wants, he can come personally. But he cannot say this like this, I cannot say it, like that. And in this way again, Lord was disappointed and he is not ready to come also like this. Somehow we spent 2 days like that. Ekadashi and Dwadashi day. Third day he told Rukmini, now today we must go. And in this way, Lord Vitthal Rukmini, when Tukaram Maharaj just came outskirts of the village, immediately Lord Vitthal Rukmini gave him darshan. And then Tukaram Maharaj was so pleased, he fell at the feet of the Lord, bathed those feet with his tears, and he invited Lord, please come to my home. And Vitthal Rukmini came to his home and he offered them prasadam also. In this way Lord had both Vitthal Rukmini ate prasadam at his home and they blessed him fully. And in this way, then the Lord disappeared. So we see what a kind of reciprocation is there between a devotee and the Lord, isn't it? The Lord, devotee and the Lord, they become like not different from each other actually. They become like so intimate, closely associated that they cannot stay from each other, away from each other. They cannot remain separated from each other. So this is the love of the Lord and his devotees. So it's all about so much of love and devotion. And that's how so Tukaram Maharaj just lived in this world for 42 years. But within these 42 years, he lived such a glorious life of devotion to the Lord. And then the transcendental airplane came from Vaikuntha to take Tukaram Maharaj back to God. It's very famous, right? So actually it is written that Tukaram Maharaj offered not only his wife, all the villagers to come back to God with him. But they were not that realized and they refused. They could not understand. And Tukaram Maharaj is seriously asking them. They thought he's going somewhere and he'll come back. But then Vaikuntha airplane came, Tukaram Maharaj understood they won't come. So he, of course, so although he was extending his mercy, but they are not ready to receive his mercy. Like that. In this way, Tukaram Maharaj, but in front of everyone then, he went and he said that आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा आमचा राम राम गावा. So that same term is also coined by Prabhupada also, right? Back home, back to Godhead. It's our original home, right? So that's also our home, original home. आम्ही जातो आमच्या गावा. My hometown I am going, is telling. So Prabhupada also coined the same term, back home, back to Godhead. So Tukaram Maharaj also says that Ami Vaikuntha Vasi Alo Yachikarnasi. I am actually original resident of Vaikuntha, but I have descended here just to, preach the glories of the Supreme Lord to conditioned souls. Like that. So he is a great devotee, great associate of the Lord from Vaikuntha planets. And he went back in the same body, they say. And in this way, his life has been the life of very glorious life, very amazing life. And it is the inspiration for thousands and lakhs of people for the next thousands of generations to come together. So we are very fortunate. We are staying just in the neighborhood of that place, where Tukaram Maharaj appeared. We can pray to Tukaram Maharaj and seek his blessings. Thank you very much. Sorry for extending the lot. Hare Krishna. Shri Tukaram Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.